Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here tonight. We are going to begin with our usual arrival meditation. It's very easy. We're going to breathe together for 2 minutes, and we use the HeartMath Institute's quick coherence technique to bring our brains and our hearts into coherence. So if you'll just sit in a relaxed manner and either close your eyes or soften your gaze, and you're going to very gently, very casually breathe through your heart space. You might want to put your hand over your heart to remind you. You're going to breathe in for a count of 4, 5, or 6. And exhale, slightly longer exhale, 5, 6, 7, inhaling, exhaling, arriving in this moment, releasing any distractions. Inhale, exhale. Consciously connecting heart to heart with me and with everybody who watches this video, either live or as a recording. This is the power of 8, this connection between us. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling for 4, 5, or 6. Exhaling, 5, 6, 7, signaling the body that it's time to relax, letting your shoulders drop, letting your hips ease, whether you're sitting or lying down, letting go of any tension in the body, feeling the connection, the coherence between the brain and the heart. Inhaling and exhaling. So grateful to be here in this sacred energy with you, doing this powerful healing work. Inhaling, exhaling. Consciously connecting. Thank you, everyone. We are now connected. And our first intention. So, how these intentions work, these meditations work, is that you picture them in your mind and you allow them to drop into your heart chakra, and then you project it out into the quantum field. You might picture it as a beam of light. You might picture it as a vine growing out from your heart area, a beautiful green energetic vine. You might think of it as a ball of light projected out into the quantum field. No matter how you send it out into the field, you follow the energy. And what that means is that you allow pictures, images, sounds, emotions to come as a result of being in this energy, the energy of the intention. And that's where we get a lot of answers. So today we're going to intend for one of our regular viewers, and I'm very, very excited to do this work for her. Hello, Vicenta. So glad you're here. Yes. Okay. If you lose focus during the meditations, which are about 7 minutes long, no worries. Just read the intention again and just try and connect back with the energy. Don't let it throw you off at all. Okay. So our first intention. We now intend for Miradel in her 60s in the Bay Area that her upcoming MRI is easy and free of pain. She is healed of any and all health issues, and she feels joyful and happy with the results of all the tests. She is whole, she is free, she is healthy. Now allow this intention to drop into your heart, send it out into the quantum field, and follow the energy. Thank you, everyone. Trust this intention and release it with love. And Miradel, send the link of this video to your family and friends. They can join in the intention even after the MRI is scheduled. They can lend their power to this healing. Hello, Diane. So glad you're here. All right, our next intention. I don't know if you've heard about this, but there is a marine park in France that was ordered to close by the French government. And there are 12 dolphins and 2 orcas that are still in the park. And there's a skeleton crew that's barely maintaining the standards, feeding these cetaceans, keeping the tanks somewhat clean, but activists and animal rights people are very, very concerned about these animals. These 2 orcas were born in captivity. They cannot just be returned to the wild. So people are scrambling to try and find a permanent home for them. And they were going to go to Spain, but the Spanish government said no, the facilities weren't adequate. So now they're looking for a new whale sanctuary. So I thought we would give them some help and support them. Hello, Irma. Hello, M.E. Simmons. Glad you guys are here. Okay, so our second intention. We now intend that Wikie and Keijo are immediately, successfully, and permanently moved to a whale sanctuary where they remain indefinitely healthy and well in every way. So allow this intention to drop into your heart chakra, project it out into the quantum field, and follow the energy. Thank you, everyone. Trust this intention and release it with love. Our third and final intention tonight is the third in our series of connecting with the elements. We now intend to invoke the element of water through the power of the salty blood in our veins and the tidal surge of emotion, connecting us to one another and to oneness, opening to wisdom and ever deeper understanding. Allow this intention to drop into your heart chakra. Send it out into the quantum field and follow the energy. Thank you, everyone. Trust this intention and release it with love. And so it is. So tonight we intended to connect with the element of water. And before that, we intended for the 2 orca whales in France. And we also intended for Miradel's healthy, happy wholeness. So if you'd like to share your comments, thank you, Diane. Yes, and so it is. If you'd like to share your insights or impressions that you gleaned during the meditations, I think they're very helpful for people who are receiving intentions from us. And this is a great way to strengthen and build out not only your meditation and focus, but also opening the doors of perception to all of your clairs. And let's see, for Miradel, I saw you very energetic. I saw you gathered with a group of girlfriends, and for some reason your hair looked really super shiny. So the energy of it was that you were gathering information, but that it sort of, the whole situation just sort of evaporated and you moved on to other things. And let's see, I saw for the orcas. Now, I have meditated in the past in ways that have led to connection with orcas. And I'll tell you about one, the first time I connected with orcas. We were actually meditating on the health of the Pacific salmon. And that's the primary food for orca whales. And as I dropped into the meditation, I found myself underwater, and I was looking at the mechanism of salmon, and it was like, I can't even really describe it, but it was like a perpetual motion machine. It was just creating salmon, creating salmon, creating salmon, and the salmon felt like food, right? Like, this is food. And then I felt that somebody was staring at me. You know how you get that sensation on the back of your neck or in between your shoulder blades. And I turned, and there, hanging in the water near me, watching me watch the salmon, was a pod of orcas. And they did not feel like food. They felt like people with incredible intelligence. And they looked at me, and they knew that I knew what was happening with the salmon, because the mechanism that created this source of food was faltering, and it was our fault. It was humanity's fault because of dams, pollution, interference, taking more than our fair share of the salmon. So to me, it felt like the orcas saw that I understood the situation, and it was just an incredibly powerful moment. And so when we dropped into this meditation, I also connected with these 2 orcas, and they reminded me of how I felt during COVID, right? When you were in your house for weeks or months on end with no clear idea when that situation was going to end. And I tried to assure them that people were paying attention and that people were seeking a solution. And these are animals that are very intelligent. They're used to a lot of interaction with humans and a lot of stimulation, and they're not getting it where they are right now. So let's hope that changes. Now let's go to the comments and share some of these. Emmy Simmons writes, I was a kayak guide in the Johnstone Strait where the orcas are summer residents. It was so lovely and easy to connect with the orcas. They are so able and willing to connect this way. Wow, thank you. That's amazing. And then Diane writes, for the last intention, I felt water pouring over me from head to toe, cleansing low vibrational energies. Wow. That's beautiful. And for Miradel, she saw her playfully running along a beachside and looking happy and healthy. Yes, yes. And Emmy Simmons writes, I stayed there in the water for the invocation to water. It was a lovely rest. Yeah, orcas are indeed so wise. Hello, Rosalind. So glad you're here. Just visiting. For the orcas, I saw the map of Europe in the Mediterranean west of Italy as a possible location. Very interesting. Yeah, we'll see how it turns out. And Emmy Simmons asked the orcas where they wanted to go, and they showed me their family pod in the Salish Sea. So that's on the coast off of British Columbia. Yeah, interesting. And Irma says she felt a lot of turmoil while meditating for the orcas. Yes, there's a lot of people who are extremely upset about this and very, very concerned. And the solutions aren't going to come quickly enough for any of us. Diane, for the orcas, I felt a worry, but I also saw them swimming together in a controlled part of the ocean. She sent them calming light and energy. Beautiful. Yes. For the invocation of water, that was so fascinating to me. I saw it was really amazing. It was like a documentary showing every way that water appears in our world. Oceans, lakes, ponds, the mist when you breathe out on a cold day, all the glaciers and icebergs in the world, drops of water on plants, water evaporating from the leaves of plants, rainbows, clouds, waterfalls, flash floods. It was just beautiful. It was incredibly beautiful. And I had a very profound sense of water considering itself an artist, right? Like it's creating all of these amazing forms for us to enjoy and partake in and appreciate and enjoy. Oh my gosh, I will never forget that. That was just beautiful. Just visiting. For the water element, I traveled to every waterway I've visited in my life, touching streams, inlets, oceans, and mountain streams. Oh, that is fantastic. That is so beautiful. Well, we are still entangled with every drop of water we've ever encountered. So that is really amazing, just visiting. So glad you're here. Wow. Well, I'll be thinking about water for a long time. And its connection to emotion, it's very real. And rivers as well as rain falling down and thunderstorms, yes, all the many forms. And I just had this profound love for water during the meditation, like every molecule, every drop of water is dear and alive and precious to us. And there's a reason why scientists are always looking for water out in the universe, because water is life. So, yeah, Diane writes, you got to check out Veda Austin. She studies body consciousness and discovered that they can communicate through hydroglyphs. Yes, she's building on the work of, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget his name, Dr. Emoto in Japan, who took photos of frozen water droplets. Amazing. Really, so much to learn about this world. And, you know, one of the things that has been not so much a surprise, but something really gratifying in the meditation and all the intuitive work that I've done over the last few years is being able to connect to so many different forms of consciousness. Like water has consciousness, fire has consciousness, air has consciousness, plants, animals, all kinds of different forms of intelligence, presence, and consciousness on this planet. We don't have to look to outer space to find alien intelligences, right? We need to open our eyes and see what's here with us on this planet. Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. That was just beautiful. I really enjoyed doing this work with you. So it is time to disentangle our energy from the group. And we do that with a short breathing exercise. And you'll put your hand over your heart. And you're going to relax your shoulders and your spine. Thank you, Diane. You're very, very welcome. Thank you, Enid. So glad you're here. And yes, it is time to disentangle. So if you found anything in tonight's intentions that were helpful or inspiring or cheering, please do take that with you into your week and let every other attachment go. You don't need to worry about those intentions. We can just release them and enjoy the work that we've done tonight. So here we go. Whew. Breathing through our heart space with gratitude. Inhale and a slightly longer, very relaxed exhale. You might even feel that sense of detaching and disentangling from the group energy. Inhaling, exhaling, more and more relaxed. Enjoying the benefit of doing this work, this style of very easy meditation. Raising your vibration, expanding your feelings of gratitude, appreciation, and joy. Inhale and exhale. Taking everything good from tonight's meditation with you into your night, into your week. And I'll see you next week. Thank you, everyone.